You know, there's a number of things that makes the German football quite special, and I say this as a fan of Italian football. The traditions, the fan engagement, and some of Europe's most popular clubs. But there's a core foundation behind all this, and yes, I'm talking about the 50+1 rule in German football. You know, the 50+1 rule is often talked about anytime the lines of football and money gets blurred, especially when, at the time of writing this, the whole world nearly came to an end with the whole Super League thing. And don't worry, we're not here to talk about the Super League, because frankly, it's talked about to freaking oblivion. So the question is, what is the 50+1 rule and how does it work? Well, stick around to find out. Right, so anytime I think about the German football, the first thing that comes to my mind is the Dortmund Yellow wall of fans, the Dortmund-Schalke rivalry, and the passion of the Union Berlin fans. You see, it's always the fan-centric nature of the German football that comes to mind, and frankly, the 50+1 rule plays a major role in it. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 50+1 rule says that the club members must own at least 50% of the club shares plus one share. Hence, the name 50+1. And by the way, when I say club members, I'm talking about the actual club fans who pay a sum of money to be club members. And these club members enjoy a 51% voting majority when it comes to decisions. The investing partners can make suggestions, but unless the fans get behind those decisions, nothing can happen. One good example is how more than 150,000 club members of Borussia Dortmund can veto anything from ticket prices all the way to the changes to the club logo. So yeah, you can see how the 50+1 rule is the reason behind the low ticket prices, full stadiums, and the traditions of the clubs being respected by those at the top. The model is there to prevent reckless owners to treat the club as their personal toys. That being said, the 50+1 rule isn't all perfect. In fact, at times, the 50+1 model has been heavily criticized by some people. But before we talk about the negatives of the 50+1 rule, don't forget to leave a like or comment. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm as a lot of time goes into making these videos. So, you'd be surprised to know that there are critics for the 50+1 model even in Germany. One main reason is that it doesn't encourage new investors to a German club. And, well, let's face it, recently the German league has been so uncompetitive to the point that at the time of writing, Bayern Munich is winning their billionth title in a row. You know, I'm not even counting at this point. And as a result of this, Bundesliga has really struggled to attract fans from overseas because, well, let's face it, people don't want to watch a one-horse race all the time. Maybe I'm an exception because as a fan of Italian football, I really appreciate the German league. But in the end, you gotta ask yourself, why would a billionaire invest in a German club if they don't even get to make decisions without the fans' approval? Now let's flip the scenario. You're the owner of a Premier League club who has the power to do as you please with your own club. You can demolish the stadium, change the club name, and hell, even appoint yourself as the manager. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but ask investors which scenario they'll choose. That being said, there have been German clubs that have been exception to the rule. Bayer Leverkusen and Wolfsburg are two special cases in Bundesliga, based on the rule that investors who had an interest in a club for more than 20 years can apply for an exception to the 50+1 rule. Leverkusen was founded in 1904 by employees of German pharmaceutical company Bayer, while Wolfsburg was founded in 1945 by the employees of Volkswagen. Now let's take a look at RB Leipzig, where things get a little suspicious. Now, before RB Leipzig was purchased by little-known energy drink company called Red Bull, the club was known as Markranstadt. Yeah, don't make me say that again. And that's not even the full name. Anyway, the old name isn't even relevant because guess what? Red Bull rebranded the living hell out of the club. They changed the name, the logo, the jersey, and gave them a lot of money to play with, to the point that they came from the 5th division all the way to the 2nd place in Bundesliga, just behind Bayern Munich. And this is my favorite part. Since they couldn't name the club after their company, they just named it Rasenball Sport Leipzig, which literally means grass ball sport. Yep, quite a weird name from the brilliant minds of Red Bull. Obviously, this was chosen because it abbreviated as RB Leipzig, and they found a loophole in the 50+1 rule, where Borussia Dortmund has over 150,000 members and Schalke has over 140,000. RB Leipzig had a grand total of, can you guess? 17 members. 17. And you wanna know the best part? They all worked for the Red Bull company. So why are they hated by other Bundesliga fans? Well, That's because everything they've done so far completely goes against what the 50+1 model was intended for. In March 2018, clubs from the Bundesliga 1st and 2nd division voted on whether they should keep the 50+1 rule, and majority were in favor of keeping it. So, what do you think about the 50+1 model? Let me know if you want to see a video on whether 50+1 can be implemented in the Premier League. On one hand, the fans are treated as a part of the club family rather than just a paying commercial customer. On the other hand though, it really discourages the foreign investing at a club. As I'm writing the script for this video, Schalke is at the bottom of the Bundesliga and is massively drowning in financial debt. We're talking about one of Germany's top supported clubs, while other clubs have to sell their star players to bigger clubs to balance their finances. Let me know in the comment section below, but be nice to each other, and if you like videos about football facts shown with sketches, well, stick around for future videos.